But now there's factions of people go, oh, no, we got it, we don't like it, we've changed our mind, it wasn't going well for us, we don't like free speech anymore. People who want free speech, they only want free speech so they can go around saying awful things, which just isn't true. And even if it was, the good thing about free speech is people can say awful things back. It's a really good system, right? And you can't say anything under the laws of free speech. That's a total misconception. There are loads of caveats to free speech, all of which I agree with, actually. You can't incite violence, good rule. You can't slander people, good rule. You can't libel people, you know? Fascinating fact about libel law, you can't libel the dead. So I could stand here and say, Gandhi used to take it up the arse. If I wanted. Which I do. But free speech is the most important human right there is. It's the right from which all other rights come. Without free speech, you couldn't have human rights, you know, and we've got free speech, in theory, in this country, for a little while longer. We can criticise the government, we can criticise the police, but we should give props to a country that allows us to do that, because we're the envy of some countries. In some countries, you criticise the police, you get beaten up, or worse. You criticise the government, you can be thrown in jail for life, you know. So they flee their oppression, quite rightly. You know, so would you. They flee their oppression, and they come here, they go, we want to come to England. We go, why? They go, free speech. We go, come on in, welcome. What are you going to do now? We're going to go on a march. What are you going to say? How shit England is. Cheers. Thank you. Thank you. That is their right. Have a great show. And I left. And as I was leaving, I saw one of the other lawyers lean in and show this head lawyer his iPhone. And the head lawyer went, oh, yeah. He went, oh, sorry, Ricky, can you come back a minute? Right, so I'm there. I went, yeah. So he had the phone there. They'd looked up the word minge. I thought I'd gotten away with it, right? So it's now like I'm getting told off. And the head lawyer said, now it says here that the word minge is a derogatory term for female genitalia. I went, well, yeah, it's a slang word for vagina in England. You don't even use it here, do you? He went, no, we don't, but we go around the world, and with due diligence, now we know it's derogatory, we'll have to bleep that word live. I went, don't bleep the word, like, because people at home won't know what I've said. It'll ruin I said, it's literally the punchline. He said, if it's derogatory, I said, well, what word could I use that you wouldn't bleep? And he went, well, you could say vagina. I went, I'm not saying vagina, right? Nothing funny about it. It's so clinical. I was thinking, Judy Dench at home going, why is he talking about my actual vagina, right? I said, minge isn't like that. It's like, it's not so specific, because vagina's so, where's your vagina? There, right? Where's your minge? There. It's like... Then one of the younger lawyers went, what about box? I went, I'm not fucking saying box, mate, right? So imagine looking at your own box. Right? I said, minge is perfect. I said, people won't know what... If they're American, they won't know it. I said, it's not offensive. It's like... I said, kids use the word in England. Right? They weren't having it. So I said, what about flange? Right? So they looked up the word flange, right? And he went, well, that'd just be confusing, because in America, a flange is a part of a sink unit. I went, oh, well, I said, please let me say minge and don't bleep it. I was really rooting for minge. Right? It was like 12 Angry Men. I go, no one's leaving till I can say minge. Right? And after about 10 minutes, I wore them down. Whatever they said, that won't work. So I was going, please. I said, I'll write them. You won't get any complaints and all this sort of... And eventually, the head lawyer went, OK, you can say minge. I went, and you won't bleep it? He went, no, we won't bleep it. I went, you promise? He went, yes. And I left. I knew they would. And they fucking did, right? So, when I said minge, I pointed. Oh, why do you like London so much, Rick? Because you get a round of applause for not shitting yourself. Right. But that's the next phase now. I reckon it's the next 10 years that I will. But as of now, my arsehole has never let me down. Very underrated, the human arsehole. Everyone goes, oh, the human brain, the greatest computer known to man. Oh, the human liver can regenerate itself. Your arsehole is working 24/7. Even when you're asleep, it's like that. You're not coming out. You're not coming out. You're not coming out. Nope. You're not coming out. And you're not coming in. Because it's like a sewer in there, isn't it? But you've got a lovely little manhole cover. Think of that in real life. Walking along a pavement, it's lovely pavement. If that burst, and you know what's in a sewer, don't you? Piss and shit and cum and dead goldfish, and fetuses. In China, just the girl ones. Relax. I'm at that age now as well, because I'm in entertainment. People say, oh, you can have a facelift. I go, no. Have you seen facelifts? They're still just that. Like that. You know what I mean? You go to the doctor, and the doctor goes, do you want to look old or Chinese? You know, it's like, nothing wrong with looking Chinese if you're Chinese. If you're not Chinese, it's a bit weird. It's offensive. Why is that allowed? You're not allowed to black up. It was considered a good thing to swap ideas with other cultures, with other nations, to share things with other races, to assimilate. It was the opposite of racist. Now it's racist. Gwen Stefani got in trouble in her last video because she had her blonde hair in dreadlocks. People go, no, black people invented dreadlocks, you can't have them, you're white, that's racist. Jamie Oliver got in trouble when he put out authentic jerk chicken recipe. People go, no, black people invented that, you can't have it, you're white, that's racist. Now, black people, they use the N-word, don't they? We invented that. That's the one, isn't it? That's the one. Listen, I know white people are the worst. I know that. That's why no one likes a fucking white middle-aged man anymore until we need a boiler fixing. Then it's get the bald bloke round now. Critical race theory, have you heard of that? Being taught in schools now, particularly in trendy areas like LA, right? Just like 5-year-old kids and 6-year-old kids. If you haven't heard it, in a nutshell, critical race theory says that all white people are racist. It says that we're born racist and we continue to be racist because we're affording the privilege of a racist society set up by our forefathers, okay? So basically, all white people are racist and there's nothing we can do about it, which is a relief. All the time when I was little. I might be remembering it wrong, but not grown-ups, not your parents, not your grandparents. They grew up dodging bombs and their firstborn having polio and the menfolk dying at 50 of lung disease. They could take a fucking joke, right? It was all about the wind-up. I used to wind up my mum all the time. This is a true story. When I went off to university, after about a week, I phoned home. My mum answered. She went, "Hello?" I went, "It's Ricky." She went, "You all right?" I went, "Not really. I'm in hospital. I think I'm blind." She went, "What?" I went, "No, I'm only joking." Right? She went, "You silly bugger." She went, "I could have had a heart attack." Right? And she's right. She could have had a heart attack. And I knew that. That's how committed I am to having a laugh. You're welcome. You're welcome. Space travel, the last-ditch attempt. When we fuck this planet completely, can we leave its dying husk and move to a new one and start again? I don't think so. Not in my lifetime. Probably not in yours. You know, it's like the closest one, the only one viable, is Mars, and that's 9 months away on a rocket. Right? It's got no atmosphere, an average temperature of minus 70 degrees. How's this for irony? Scientists are working out whether they can detonate nuclear warheads. And this big guard showed me to this room, and he opened the door and he shut it behind me, and I looked. And there were suddenly 10 lawyers in suits. It was usually like this middle-aged woman in a jumper, right? And I thought, what the fuck's happened? I think, is it because it's my last time and they're just making sure I don't say anything? Right? And they were there, and I went, "Hi." They went, "Hi." I said, "Should I do the monologue?" They went, "Please." Tough crowd, right? So I had the monologue, right? And I was sort of going through, it was like 7 or 8 minutes long. So I was doing the jokes, and after each joke, I sort of looked up, and they were sort of going, making notes like that. A couple of the younger ones were going, like that, right? And I got to the end, and I went, "That's it." And they went, "Good." I went, oh, great, oh, yeah. And then the head lawyer, he was about 60 years old, he had like white hair. He went, oh, yes, there was one thing. Now, I did this joke, I don't know if you remember. It went, the world got to see James Corden as a fat pussy. He was also in the movie Cats, but no one saw that. And it goes on, at one point I go, but Dame Judi Dench said it was the role she was born to play because she loves nothing better than plonking herself down on the carpet, lifting her back leg and licking her own minge, right? So, this lawyer went, he said, this is all true, by the way. He went, when you say James Corden is a fat pussy, that's just referring to his role in Cats, right? I went, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Nah. And he went, okay, great. I thought, this is easy. I wanted to go, call yourself a lawyer, right? And they'll be back with something madder. But remember who it is next time, right? It's always like these sort of educated, middle-class, privileged, elitist sort of people telling ordinary working-class people what they can and can't do and say and laugh, not realising how important comedy is to ordinary people. Like when I was a kid growing up in Reading with nothing, right? Humour was like a lifesaver. It was like a superpower, right? Not a real one like flight, but you know what I mean? It's like, you ask anyone their superpower, I reckon 7 out of 10 will say flight, and 3 will go super strength or something, right? Which is great. If you're a superhero, flying around, being super strong, great. But sooner or later, a super villain will go, look at that cunt. I'm gonna get him and murder him, right? My superpower, they wouldn't even know it was me. They wouldn't even know there was a superpower being used. And it would get you out of any situation. My superpower would be the ability to make anyone instantly shit themselves. Think of it. You're getting mugged at knife point. They go, give me your wallet. You just go, they go, fuck. Oh, fuck. Game over. It's game over. That's another thing I'm very proud of. I can honestly say, in almost 64 years, I have never shat myself once. So, no, don't no. Thinking they'd be loved forever. Eminent people going, there is a statue of me in the town square. And now they're pulling down the statues, aren't they? Going, pull down this fucking statue. Why? He was a slave trader. Pull down the fucking statue. He built the hospital. Should we pull that down? No, leave the hospital. Leave the hospital. Just pull down the fucking statue. Pull down the statue and dump it in the canal. He built the canal as well. It doesn't matter, just pull down the fucking statue. I don't think you should whitewash history. If you find out something new, add to it. Like if there's a statue and it's got Lord Whimsy, trader, philanthropist, add bit racist. Or one of those blue plaques on a house, go, Sir Robert Spuke lived here. Author, poet, pedo. I think we live too long. That's why we have time to worry about all this. We're not meant to live with sapiens. We've been around as hominids for a few million years. And of course, along with every other life form that exists at the moment, we've been evolving for 3.5 billion years. Everything that exists at the moment all came from the same little blob of organic matter 3.5 billion years ago. That's why it annoys me when people say, oh yeah, humans, we're the most evolved. We're not the most evolved. We're no more evolved than the slug or the snail. People go, oh, come on, look at them. Yeah, they got it right early doors. Nature keeps testing them. Do you want eyes? No. Not really. No. I have noticed one thing about the slug and the snail. Let's not split hairs, let's be honest. The snail is basically a slug with a shell on it, isn't it, right? But if you pull the shell off the snail, it starts giving it all, oh, I'm dying. And the slug is like, welcome to the real world, cunt. So yeah, we've been around for about 300,000 years. And for most of that time, we had the same life expectancy as every other wild ape, 35, 40, if you're lucky. You're born, you grow, you mate, you're playing with your kids, you get a cut, you go, oh, what's that, dead? Right? But now with antibiotics in medicine, we've pushed that forward. A child born today can expect to live to about 100. And scientists said soon that'll be 120.